I said yes to Argentina because I always had a heart for missions, and I spent majority of my life living in New York, and I wanted to see what God was doing outside of my bubble. Since I wasn't able to leave the States, I took any opportunity to go on local missions. And now that I'm able to leave the States, I wanted to honor God by making my first international trip a mission trip.
And for me, I think that God really showed me that even though the people there and the community there might not have what we think is really important and needed here in like Bergen County or New York City. I think there's a simplicity that they have there in that community, and I'm really excited to go back to that again and really get to partner with God to see what He has in store for us there. I think last year was a time in which we could really see God's work in the kids and the community, and I'm excited to do that again.
I think last year what was really big and prevalent for me was just being able to worship together with people like in a different country. For me, I'd never gone on overseas missions before, and so it was, I guess you could say, surprising, but also like just seeing the reach of like God's reach, not just in the States, but also like throughout the world.
I think one of the biggest parts of the missions trip last year was teaming up with the translating team out in Argentina. And honestly, I didn't know what to expect. I just thought it'd be a group of people who were very fluent in Spanish and English, and though they are, getting to know them, a lot of them are actually vocational translators, as in they want to use their gifts to serve on the missions field. So I was so blessed by them, and I feel like watching them, I never realized it until I saw them, but I never realized that translating could be a form of worship. Last year we did a children's VBS, and we're planning to do one again this year. We had an age range of like 6 to 13 or something, and it ended up being around 2 to 20. So that was so exciting to see how much these kids enjoyed it, and every day the numbers would grow. They would tell all their friends like, oh, you have to come out. It was so exciting.
These days being my mid-20s, I feel like the sole focus these days is how do I advance my career, how do I make more money, how do I be more integrated into like society and social settings. And I think all that stuff is good and important, but I think in a lot of ways it took precedence over my relationship with the Lord. I think the importance of me going to Argentina and having the experience of missions was to help me really recalibrate why I'm doing the things I'm doing and what I'm doing it for. I think going there and simply doing the Lord's work was a time in which I was reminded once again that the Lord of my life is not myself, but it's God.
Yeah, I mean, I think of us as Christians, we're either for missions, either going or sending. I think we're called to either go or send. And so, I think of this missions trip as kind of our whole church really going on this missions trip together. There's certainly people, I guess, on our team that will be going, but also, hopefully that the church can embrace really sending this team.
I think that this team has the privilege of being the ones to be sent out, but I do believe that Mosaic as a church has the role of supporting, since we're one body, one family, supporting, especially in prayer, and if willing, financially as well. And those finances will be put to good use for good works. It will be used to help feed many children at the VBS and support all our VBS activities as well. So it's put to a good cause, and yeah.